All right, so here is a collection of cards that I've made with stamped line art images, and I've used my Memento Tuxedo Black ink as is recommended, and I also purchased the Ultra Smooth Premium White cardstock. It's a 97 brightness, 80-pound cover weight, which even Crafter's Companion, who manufactures the Spectrum Noir, suggests that this is the best cardstock to use, and I wanted to kind of give myself a leg up, and it was good. It was part of a bundle, part of a deal that I got when I purchased my initial set of pens. So, my Cricut is down right now, so I had to, you see a lot of squares. I didn't have a lot of shapes and things to do. So it was kind of good to get back to basics, but let me just show you a few things. First of all, I'd like to say with the pens, you know, you just can't beat the deal. I bought these, I'm kind of kicking myself right now. I bought the initial set. I bought the initial 72 set of markers with the bags, and it was like $125. Oh my gosh. Now you can get them for $100 a piece. That makes it only $1.38 per pen, as opposed to on the same website that I saw was selling these for $99 for 72 of them, or $100. These were still on sale for $4 a pen. Or no, it was actually the Chow markers. So it wasn't even the sketch markers, it was the Chow. You just can't beat this for the price for this. Now, Crafter's Companion has just released, I guess they're selling well, so they've just released all 168 colors, and there are some deals to find, but you know, crafters, if you're interested in alcohol markers or looking at adding to a collection, shop for the deals. And I probably could have waited a little bit and I might have come out ahead, but you just can't beat it. I mean, alcohol marker for, you know, $4 versus, or even the Chow marker for this. So my marker is, and with the current deal that they have, and I'm not advertising, I'm not promoting any one website or company, but you can get all 168 markers for about $1.70 something a pen, like $1.78 a pen. Pretty darn good. I mean, that's less than half the price. So I would say a total benefit for you. And I actually really, really love this, tote that comes with this here. So let me tell you about some of the other things, and I'm kind of talking about the quality, because if we're going to compare these to a Copic, and I'm not going to do a coloring comparison, I am not a great colorer. I'm brand new with this. So there's so many videos about how to color. I'm sure people who are more skilled with this. Crafter's Companion does have a DVD. I wish they would release it online, but a DVD about their system, and hopefully it goes into more about how it's labeled, you know, why GG is green gray or BGR, blue grays. One thing I do like about the Copics is that I think that their system for numbering is a little bit better, because like with the zeros and the grays, it talks about the hue value, you know, how much gray you're going to get or how light it will be, and I'm not sure I'm seeing that here, although on that video, the DVD that Spectrum Noir puts out, maybe there is something better on that. Now, we're talking about a pen that's roughly half as much as, let's say, a Chow sketch marker, and there's nothing wrong with these pens. These are awesome pens, so if you have a collection, I'm not knocking it, but I will just say a few things. I think you do get what you pay for. For example, if you can just see, and I'm going to have some still photos because my flip doesn't get real detail very much at all. Just even the lettering or the numbering on the outside of the pens, this is clearly much cheaper. You know, I'm wondering if it's going to rub off in time, to be honest with you, whereas this feels a little more embossed, kind of raised, and a little bit better. It's just a cosmetic thing for this, but that's all. And then out of my set of 72 that I purchased, a couple times I was removing a cap. I don't know if it was the bullet tip or the other nib, the broad tip, and I can't repeat it now because it was messy and I don't want to do it again. Now these are refillable, but usually, if I understand, you pull the nib out to refill it and put the ink back in there. But when I did this, when I was taking this off, this whole part came out, and the interior in here is sort of a core that's the ink reservoir, and it came out too. And it was juicy, and it made a mess, and it did it on more than one pen. And hopefully it's just because they were new. I can't remember the pens because I've gone and reorganized my pens now. So I was a little like, what the heck? And not very happy with that. But you know what? It was 2 pens. It could happen with these. I have no idea. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, I think that overall, though, the good stuff is the pens were juicy. I think I had like one that was dry because you can tell it sort of squeaks on your paper when your ink is maybe not as juicy as you'd like it to be. But I found them to all be very juicy, and I didn't have to do very much as far as blending. And previously, I used to use odorless mineral spirits and Prismacolor pencils, but I felt like I was coloring and coloring and coloring, recoloring. You know, you color once, you blend, you add your other new color, you blend some more. Well, you kind of are doing that here, but it was far quicker, and I liked it. But I'll tell you, I'll show you some ideas of how I used the pens and the pencils together. So let's look at some of the art that I had. We'll start with this gal right here. She didn't make it onto a card, but that was some nice turquoises that we have together with that. This one, it was really cute. And look, I used the stamp. This is an ancient old stamp I've had forever. And then I colored that. I know the color's a little bit different, but I achieved some really nice shading in some non-related colors, and I was very happy with that. I thought it looked really good. Here is some red. I'm going to talk about red in a second. And I just used 2 colors of red to blend that. But it's very easy. And I kind of messed up on her corsage trying to add some glitter to it, but it was really good. I was happy with those results. Okay, so here's 2 cards, same stamp, different colors. And I thought I did a pretty good job in making her blouse, the bodice part of her dress, look nice and smooth, and then used a much darker color to create some shadow and texture for her skirt. And her little doggy companion, it's probably not visible here, but I went over, I did blending on that, and then I did go back with my colored pencils to add texture. I really like that. I am going to love these pens with my Prismacolors. So here's another one, this little gal, red. We're going to talk about that in a moment here. She blended really nice with pinks and reds, but the reds were pretty juicy. And even though I was using the cardstock and the inks that they recommend, I still had a problem with bleeding each time. The reds and those browns were bled a lot too. So let me show you. And again, I'll have close-ups at the end. I like the stamp. I just got the stamp. I thought it was pretty fun. But you can see the edges. It feathered so bad. And I even tried using the blender pen and a technique I saw online to push the ink back in and kind of erase it, and it didn't do any good. And after 48 hours later, I went back with the gray to go around to give it shadow, and it's just bled outside the lines big time. Did that on that one, and you can see on her purse here. So I got to figure something out. I don't know if it's these ink pens or it's the way I color, but there was just no stopping it. And I really don't want to have to emboss every time I do that. Okay, let me show you my last little one now. This is probably the last one that I did, and I really like the way it turned out. You can get some very smooth results like I did here, or I really like the way these textures came out when I was blending these colors, and these are the aqua colors, and it's kind of chunky. That's how I could explain it. It's not smooth blending, but I like it. It looks very watercolor. And down below here, I took 2 different colors. Like I took this, I believe it was this GB8, maybe the GB10, and a gray. And I used them to create some textured effects on the floor, and I really like the way it turned out. Very watercolor. Reminds me of some children's illustrations and sometimes sort of a comic book where it isn't as smooth. I'm not talking about anime. So that's that. All right, so I give these a thumbs up, but there are some caveats. You know, they're not maybe quite the quality of the Copic, and probably look for other videos of people who talk about the blending capabilities. I only have like 3 of these, so I can't really give you a comparison, and I know some videos are already starting to pop up on YouTube, but that is my over-under on the Spectrum Noir pens. And I'm very happy with my initial set, but I do wish I would have shopped a little better. You can get them at an awesome price. So happy crafting, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.